Hey guys, LootWizard here with another video on Gems of War. I want to cover in this video about Guild Wars. I want to show my defense teams and talk a little bit about how to maximize your points. So let's get right into it. This week is Guild Wars, and your guild will be each day fighting a different guild, and there will be a bonus for each color per day. Your guild order will probably look different than mine because they're randomized, I believe. So for me, day one is going to be red, and in order to maximize my points on that day, I will have to use red troops to attack. Now, you can use like 3 troops that are red and 1 that isn't. If that's a stronger team for you, you'll get a little less points than if you used all 4 red troops. But a victory is always going to give you more points than a loss, but do try to use the color of that day. So that's the main rule when attacking. And for defense, you want unique weapons and troops for each day that you're defending. And this will give you a total of 12,000 extra points. As you can see down here at the bottom, it says that there is a bonus. The current bonus earned from using 4 different troops is 2,000, so you'll get an extra 2,000 for each day that you use 4 different troops. And the total of using 24 different troops across the entire 6 days is going to give you that bonus of 12,000 points, which is quite a bit. Quite a bit of points that you'll get. That's just like a passive bonus. And if you've ever noticed when you do Guild Wars, in the first battle that you do during that day, it'll say something like you have 3,000 something points, and then every battle after that will be much less. And that where that extra points come from in that first battle is they're assigning your extra bonus points here from defense. So now, for my defense teams, I don't get really crazy with it. My theme is that you want to have a team that is going to be annoying to defeat. It's going to have staying power, but it also has some damage. So I like to focus in on sometimes converting the color of the day to something else, because that is, if someone's trying to match up the colors when they're attacking on that day, they want that color of mana. So, for example, I have my red defense here for day 1, and I'm using the Daughter of Ice, which starts at full mana, and it converts red gems to blue. So anyone who's attacking me on that day, if they're trying to use all red troops, they're going to have a hard time getting that red mana because I'm just going to convert it to blue. Now, if that blue will fill up the Doom Blade here, and then the Doom Blade on top of everything will transform red gems to Doom Skulls. So I have a lot of ways in that team, or 2 different ways in that team, to convert red gems out of the picture on the board, which should hurt the enemy team if they're trying to get that red mana. And the other 2 troops here are, the last one is creating an ice storm at the start of every turn, so there's going to be a lot of blue on the board. So that's that defense team there. The second defense team I'm using here focuses really on a different theme. Instead of converting the color away, I'm not even focusing on that, and instead I'm simply focusing on creating a situation where King Bloodhammer can convert blue gems and just do a lot of destruction with Doom Skulls. And at the same time, I also have Jar of Eyes, which is going to create that ice storm every time it gets cast, but it will also act as a mana generator, and it will summon an all-seeing eye troop if my Silent Sentinel dies or one of the other troops dies. So that has some staying power in this team. The Grey King is going to function as something that's going to manipulate the enemy team by mana draining them, silencing them, freezing them. And the Silent Sentinel will also do silence whenever an enemy deals skull damage to me. And I do use this troop a lot when I'm attacking on a blue day for Guild Wars. But it's great also for defense. So with silence going on there, and then the main damage is going to be King Bloodhammer, and then a little bit of damage with the Grey King. So that team really centers more around Doom Skulls and Silence. So now moving on to my third day, I am using a similar tactic to what I did on day 1, where I'm trying to convert away the color that they're going to use. So that's why I call this green defense. Grave Seer is going to start at full mana, and it will transform green gems to purple. So since if they're trying to use green attack troops, I will be able to immediately get rid of that green from the board, and then it will enchant my hero here, which has the life and death weapon, which is pretty strong weapon. It will continue to steal life from the last 2 enemies. It will death mark them, bless itself, and I'm using it with the Orb Weaver class, which has a 35% chance to summon a giant spider when I take damage. Also, the Arachnean Weaver is going to be pretty powerful for true damage and webbing the enemy team. So that's what I have going for that defense team. For day 4, I just have one of the teams that I really like with the Wild Queen. I use this a lot for PvP, so I just decided to throw it in here as a defense team to see how it works. I'm using it with the Essence of Evil weapon, so this weapon's really powerful and inflicts all negative status effects on an enemy, plus it generates mana by exploding gems of their mana color. So then I have the Wild Queen, which will steal attack damage from an enemy to give it to the first ally. It creates a mix of 22 skulls and green gems, so it's mana generator and it's stealing attack. And since the weapon here uses green mana, the Wild Queen will continue to fill that up, and then you can cast that weapon again, and that'll generate more mana, which will probably fill up your Wild Queen. Now, the Miraji Queen is also a devastating troop in combination with the Wild Queen because of 2 things. One, it gives all elementals a 50% mana start, and the Wild Queen is an elemental. The second thing that makes it powerful is that it will convert all green gems to Doom Skulls. And since the Wild Queen is going to be creating a mix of 22 skulls and green gems, you will already have a situation where you have green gems matched up with regular skulls, and this should give you a 4 match pretty consistently with casting the Miraji Queen. And finally, in the 4th spot, I have Leprechaun for a quick mana generator right away in the beginning of the match, as well as Nature Link there, which gives a bonus to green mana. So that team there is pretty strong in PvP when I'm attacking, so I figured I don't think I have tried this one yet in defense, so I'm kind of curious to see how well it does. Then this also is another newer team that I'm using this week in Guild Wars, and it's kind of centered around my new kind of gold team. Instead of using the King of Thieves in there, I went ahead and threw Tina 9000. So once I get the gold up to 200, I'll cast Greed in order to do that. Hopefully the AI, when it's defending for me, will be smart enough to cast this thing right away because it starts at full mana. And then the Bronze Lock Pistol should start up pretty quickly. I'm also have the Orb Weaver class assigned to it just for that extra survivability. And then, the Bronze Lock Pistol should generate a lot of mana for Tina 9000. And Tina 9000 is going to do a lot of damage. It'll probably do around 100 to 150 damage every time it casts. And it will gain armor. And it has a reduction of damage from spells and all that good stuff. Plus, I got Cedric in the 4th spot, which can disrupt the enemy team, pull it to the last position. It charms a random enemy, and then it summons bomb bots. So that team right there could do well. I don't know. Now, if an enemy attacks me and they're smart enough, they're probably going to focus on Tina 9000 first. And if they kill Tina 9000, then it'll probably be a win for them. But I'm interested to see how that's going to do. And finally, for day 6, my defense team is the classic Rope Dart, Divine Ishbala, Keelan, and Moon Rabbit combination. It's a pretty annoying team to fight against in PvP. I usually try to avoid it whenever I see it in PvP. So I'm putting that in here as pretty much just it's a pretty decent defense team still. So Rope Dart is devastating because it eliminates armor and it pulls an enemy to the front position. And if you do have it upgraded, it will entangle that enemy that it pulls to the front. I'm also using the Frost Mage with it because Frost Mage is a powerful class for keeping the enemy from doing extra turns. So when its traits here, it has a 25% chance to freeze a random enemy when an ally casts a spell. As well as it does have some talents as well. It freezes a random enemy at the start of the battle. And it also has some other good things in here as well. So, but I'm using that mainly for the freeze. And of course, Moon Rabbit will generate mana for my troops. I'm sure pretty much everybody's faced that team by now in PvP. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much my my defense teams in Guild Wars this week, and that's basically how to maximize your points on defense and attack. Also, just quickly covering the Sentinels. You probably do want to upgrade these. I don't usually upgrade them to the full capacity, but it is nice to get a little bit of boost on those stats. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for Guild Wars in this video for this week. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope that helps you guys out a little bit. And, yeah, consider leaving a like on this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing for more videos like this. I will catch you guys in the next video. Later.